everyone, that concludes week 16 of the NFL season, and now things are starting to pick up, and we're getting a real good shape of how the playoffs are going to look for the most part. But enough chitter chatter, man. Let's just get into these games. All right, so I'm going to address the elephant in the room here first. Puka Nacua's comments, it's been said, everyone knows who they are, everyone knows. I want to explain one thing if people don't understand this. If they don't think the comments were that bad and think like his referee comments weren't that bad or, the other stuff that wasn't that bad. Regardless of what you think, you understand, regardless of how bad it is or not bad it is, the media is going to run with this and it's going to cause a lot of unwanted attention. So even if it is a small thing in people's minds, it's not that big of a deal, it's going to cause a lot of media attention, and that's not good. That's what you can understand. Like, I don't think some people understand that athletes, that's why they kind of are very blank with their answers. They're not very, not given a lot of, detailed answers because they say something really out there, a lot of media, a lot of distractions, and that's what happens with Puka. And Puka, I like him. You got to smarten up, man. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's killing me out here. I think the number one red flag is that he's hanging out with Neon and Aiden Ross. And I'm just going to say it. Aiden Ross and Neon are okay, I'm going to bleep that. Listen, I know I don't get many views, but I don't want audio of me saying that there. It's going to be bleep. But I'm keeping it in there because they are. They genuinely are bottom feeders. Don't know why he's partnering with them. Horrible stuff. Anyways, this game was awesome. 38-37. The Rams, I think they're just a better team than the Seahawks. I think they proved that somewhat. The Seahawks were home. The Rams controlled it, and they lost off of a punt, return touchdown, and then stalling out on offense. And they still got touchdown in overtime, but it wasn't enough. And the Seahawks stormed down, touchdown. Of course, they're going for two. Why would they kick a PAT? They go for two, win it all. Now they are in the lead of the division. And it sucks because I think the Rams are the best team in the league. I think they're the best roster in the league. I think they got one of the best defenses. I think they have the best offense in the league. And they might be playing as a wild card team, as like a 6 seed. Possibly a 6 seed. That's crazy, right? But that is how the game goes. This is what happens when you lose to the Carolina Panthers 2 weeks ago. Don't do that, or you wouldn't be in this situation. I could see them being a team that goes on a run, like a Buccaneers team back in 2020. The division, right? They were up 16 points. The Seahawks came back. The Seahawks, I don't want to take too much credit with the Seahawks. Seahawks are a great team. They deserve to be where they are. And Sam Darnold did lock in the second half, and I'm happy he did because I couldn't see this man play another big game and lose. I couldn't see it happen to the redhead man. But he locked in the second half. Passing to JSN was the number one go-to. I don't know why Zach Charbonnet keeps getting these runs more than him. Kenneth Walker is clearly a better running back. Maybe not at pass catching, but at running the ball, oh yeah, way better than Charbonnet. Overall, just not good stuff. Puka had a phenomenal game, but he's going to create more drama in the locker room and media. It's not good. Tell him to pipe down and shut it. Eagles versus Commanders. The Philadelphia Eagles, for the first time in 26 years, have won back-to-back NFC East titles. It took a very long time for this to happen. After 2 Super Bowl wins, still hasn't happened, but now it has finally happened in the NFC East. Peace rejoices to the division. Obviously, for the Cowboys to win the division this year, a comically embarrassing amount of stuff would have to happen, which I don't think it was even possible because I'm not sure the Cowboys are even going to win out all their 3 games this year. But the Eagles had to lose to Washington twice. That's not happening. There it is. It's just not happening right there. The Eagles looked pretty damn good this game. I know it's Washington, but outside of Jake Elliott missing those field goals, they controlled this entire game. Saquon Barkley looked damn good. These last 3 weeks of Saquon Barkley, he's looked really, really good, which is a good thing because his first 8 weeks this year were rough. They were not good. I would say he's almost playing bad at that point. But he's locked in. Wintertime, maybe it's harder to tackle him. That's what's playing better. But honestly, I've seen him break more tackles. He's running through the holes better. And he's just looking like prime Saquon all over again, which is pretty unfortunate for teams who got to face the Eagles in the playoffs. Although I don't think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl this year because their team is significantly weaker. Injuries and overall not the same mojo, not the best record, and they're going to be playing some road games in the playoffs this year for sure. Washington it's just a washed year. The season's been over for a few weeks now. You got to do what you got to do. Maybe get a better draft pick, but that's it for that game. Wow. This was one of the best fourth quarters and overtime games I've seen this year. Oh, besides the one we just saw last week. This was awesome. The first 3 quarters of the game were pretty boring, not going to lie. They were pretty boring. But the last minute of this game, wow. The Bears struggling to get any touchdowns all game, get a field goal with 1 minute left. Onside kick recovered. And you know what that means. At that point, they're getting a touchdown. And they do get a touchdown in a few plays, tie the game to go to OT. The Packers marched on the field. They get to a 4th and 1. Malik Willis fumbles the ball. They get it back, but it doesn't matter because it's a turnover on downs. The Bears get it, and Caleb Williams, from the grace of God, flings that ball 50 yards to DJ Moore. Touchdown. Game over. Bears win. They basically win the division. Holy shit, that was insane. I did not think the Bears were going to win this game. I did not think they were going to come back even. And they did, firing off 2 touchdowns, one with 20 seconds left, and one in OT is just insane. I know it's obviously not the prettiest win, and maybe a little bit fluky, but Ben Johnson has certainly turned this team around and has certainly helped Caleb Williams develop as quarterback because he's gotten much better this year. The Packers, unfortunately, are injured to shit, and Malik Willis played pretty damn good. Not his fault. I know he fumbled, but listen, he played the best he could. The defense should have locked in. They should have recovered onside kick. It's not his fault they lost this game in the slightest. But it is unfortunate because I think the Packers, obviously it's and healthy. If this team had Micah Parsons, they would win. I think if this team had Micah Parsons, they would have won last week too. It's unfortunate because I think the Rams are better than the Seahawks, and I think the Packers are overall better than the Bears, and neither team is winning the division. And that is just really fun for us football fans because it's pairing up to be a lot of parity in the playoffs. Holy cow. I love it.
No biting, okay? You're my good little baby, huh? Yeah.
Chargers versus the Cowboys. Although the Cowboys are out of the playoffs, they still didn't play any good as they lost by 17 points to the Los Angeles Chargers at home, finishing their last home game of the season. Justin Herbert, ever since he's broken his left hand, has been unreal. And I know that's obviously not the craziest thing to say considering he faced the Cowboys, but he was favored to lose today. He played amazing. He was favored to lose against the Eagles, played really good and beat them, and now he's off to face Houston next week. Will he do good? We have to wait and see. But for now, he's playing pretty damn good, especially how bad the O-line is. Again, Dallas's defense proves to be horrible. There was no Quentin Williams today. However, they could, maybe use a guy who's just fast, lean, gets the quarterback fast, can get the run. I don't know. They just ran off the top of my head. The Chargers have a shot at winning the division with the Broncos losing today. So could they do it? Maybe, but they got 2 tough games ahead of them. And with the Cowboys season's over. What do you want from me? The season's done. They're 6-8-1, facing the 4-11 Washington team on Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. That's what you get. I refuse to believe Baker Mayfield cannot find a single wide receiver open with how many guys they have. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka, Jalen McMillan. There's just no way. I've seen this guy so many times in this game just look to his left, look to his right, and just pump fake it and just get sacked or just run. There's no way. There's no way in hell this man cannot find a single person open. I get it. He's hurt. He's struggling. But on my mama's life, there's no way he can't find one of them open. Besides that, Bryce Young is doing his best Jekyll and Hyde impression as he played really, really good. Bryce Young has played pretty damn good against the good teams this year, and today he killed it. He's a natural playmaker, and I don't know why he has these weeks against the Saints or against these other bad teams where he just doesn't do it. It makes no sense. He shows up for the good teams and does not show up for the bad teams. Very strange, but if Bryce Young could do this every week, he'll be a top quarterback in this league. He's got the potential. He just needs to figure it all out and put it together in one big bow, like a Christmas bow. Tie it up nice and neat and just, it'll be great. But that's what it is. Even though the Panthers won, they still got to face Seattle next week and Tampa Bay again. So they got a tough road ahead of them. But good luck. No sack record for Myles Garrett. Big sad. He's only a half a sack away from tying it and 1 full sack from breaking that record. Now, he has 2 games left, but Myles Garrett needs to get that record for this next game because although he could break it in the 17th game, people are going to be like, oh, there's an asterisk. He didn't break it in the 17th game, whatever. I don't really care. There's 17 games now, buddy. Go cry. For the love of that is all holy, he needs to get that sack record next game. And he's facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And guys, listen to me just say this. It'd be really poetic if he gets it against Mason Rudolph. If the stars align and the universe is giving us signs, Mason Rudolph has to be the quarterback Myles Garrett gets it against. It would just make too much sense. And I think I'm vouching for that. Not to say Aaron Rodgers get hurt, but maybe he gets out a few plays. Myles Garrett sees Mason Rudolph line up, 3-point stance, burst out of there, sheds the tackle, bull rush, does a spin, boom, gets him, sack record complete. Myles Garrett, the best defensive end of all time, in my head at least. Oh yeah, the Bills. I forgot about the Bills. Now, the Bills are 11-4, I believe. They're a very good team, but I'm seeing this notion that's like, oh, since Patrick Mahomes is in the playoffs, Josh Allen has no excuse to win a Super Bowl this year. It's like, dude, this is his worst team I think he's had since probably 2019. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen is very good, but this team is not good. Their O-line's pretty mid. The receiving core is horrible, and James Cook's a stud. But other than that, Josh Allen's going to make plays on his own and rely on James Cook, really. And I love James Cook, but that's kind of it, really, right there. Like, no way. It's like there is many teams in the playoffs that are better than the Bills. I think Jacksonville, New England, and Denver are better teams. Maybe even Chargers and Houston are better, too. But it comes on Josh Allen's head. So do I think they're going to go all the way this year? No, I do not. And I think this notion of, well, the Bills got to win it this year because Josh Allen has no excuse. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a team game. Stupid analyst, man. Other than that, Shedeur Sanders needs to play better. And I know he's a rookie, but the thing is, he's a fifth rounder who the Browns did not want to start. So if he's going to have to get a second chance next year, he needs to play rookie of the year level. And he can't have these games, which is unfair because I think Shedeur is actually pretty talented and has a very high ceiling. The Browns seem to not think so, so he's picked it up. I think he played solid for a game today, but could have played a lot better. The Saints have picked at the worst time of the year because they're likely going to finish one win behind winning the division, which sucks because if they started Tyler Shuck early in this year, they may be in the running for the NFC South. Shuck has looked like a solid, competent quarterback. Again, he's a rookie, and he's looked pretty quarterback ready. And again, he's 25, so it makes sense why that is. But if this guy can develop more with Kellen Moore, I think he could be a pretty good quarterback. Do I think he's a franchise guy for 10-plus years and could be a superstar? No, but I think he could be a bridge starter for 4 or 5 years and maybe get to a playoff appearance or two and just be right there, you know? But also with that, the Saints defense looked way better this year. This team's just locking in at the end of the year. And it sucks because the Saints fans are one too many losses out. But you know what? Maybe there's some morale for next year and you get to watch your team be sort of good, which is fine. The Jets are the winner of the Tank Bowl this year. I think there's no team worse than the New York Jets. You could argue the Raiders, but no, I think it's the Jets. 9 is one of the biggest anomalies of a quarterback in the NFL. He stunted on the Commanders. He stunted on Dallas. But don't you get me started when he faces the New York Giants. For some reason, this guy turned back into J.J. McCarthy, which isn't good. You want 9, not McCarthy. Although he didn't finish the game, he still had a pick, and he did have a pick 6 that should have counted if not for Abdul Qadir lining up off sides, which did not affect the play at all. So McCarthy just needs to figure his crap out because each week he does this is less confidence Kevin O'Connell has because he had a 2 good week stretch of those games, 3 touchdown games back to back. But the Giants, come on, man, the Giants. I mean, come on. Jackson Dart has been worrying because the Giants are getting closer to a top 3 pick. And Jackson Dart these last 2 weeks has not looked good. And maybe he's playing a little more cautious because of his concussions. But these types of games matter to a quarterback. We've seen teams take a first-round quarterback and then take another one the next year. It's not impossible. So I don't think the Giants are going to do that. But again, this pick was Brian Daboll's decision. Brian Daboll is now gone. Dart has struggled the last 3 games. I wouldn't put it past them to get the first overall pick to take Mendoza. I don't think they should. I think they should stick with Dart. But I don't trust Jim Mara. I don't trust their GM. I don't know what they're going to do. They might do something really stupid. The Vikings win in a pretty boring game. Right when the season's over, Joe Burrow locks in, dude. Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. This offense is unstoppable. Who could stop this offense? Not the Dolphins. That's right, buddy. Quinn Ewers went in, started off pretty good, very quickly faltered, and now we realize that maybe benching Tua wasn't the best decision. Okay, maybe it was. The Tua's been bad, let's be real. But Quinn Ewers is not much better at the same time. This team has a lot of talented players, of course, like, you get Jalen Wright, Devon Chan, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller is still kicking, and he's still pretty good. But unfortunately, they just couldn't put the pieces together to get enough points for the Bengals. The Bengals, on the other hand, have Joe Burrow, a depressed and philosophical Joe Burrow, that being, who actually stunted on them hoes, putting up 45 points against them. There's not much else to say here. They just kicked their ass. So I think we owe Patrick Mahomes an apology. Because the Chiefs are, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, a bottom 3 team in this league without him. Holy shit. 26-9 to the Tennessee Titans? The Tennessee Titans. The second worst team in the league? Third worst. I'll give them some slack. Third worst team in the league? Oh my gosh. This was the most embarrassing loss for this team this year. And it makes me think, man, I know Patrick Mahomes is valuable, don't get me wrong, but I would think Andy Reid would cook up enough of a game plan to beat the Titans. No, he can't, apparently. Oh my God. Cam Ward, again, he's looking better, which is good for them. He's looking better each week. Gardner Minshew tore his ACL. Back-to-back weeks, they've had quarterbacks tear their ACL. I don't know if that's the first time it's ever happened, but it feels like it's the first time it's ever happened. Crazy stuff. And they put in Chris Oladokun. I don't really know who this guy is, and he played fine. But other than that, the Chiefs' season's already over, but just not a good look. Right when I was glazing the hell of the Texans, they do this. They won against the Raiders, don't get me wrong, but they did not look very good. Their best defense in the league faced off against Geno Smith, and Geno Smith played pretty good? Yeah, he did. The Raiders scored 3 touchdowns against Houston at home. Huh? And they probably would have won this game if not for that penalty on 3rd and 20 they took. That is a crazy situation we're in. Also, C.J. Stroud kind of went back to his old ways of playing very mid. Not a good look for C.J. Stroud either, because he has struggled again this season and struggling against the Raiders. Come on, man. I know Max Crosby's good, but really? You can't do that. They also have an issue of spreading the ball to Nico Collins. Nico Collins should be getting monstrous stats. He should be getting 1,500 yards a year, and this guy is going back-to-back years of barely squeaking over 1,000 yards. That's not good. This guy should be getting the ball 10 targets a game plus, and he's getting like 4 receptions a game for 50 yards. Like that, come on. You got to lock it in. Davis Mills was passed to him, and I think C.J. Stroud's a better quarterback than Davis Mills, but at least Davis Mills was firing that ball to that man. This just worries me for the Texans because I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think if this team wants to be better, this defense can't fold. In the back-to-back weeks, they've let up 20 points, which is good, but for a defense that's supposed to be all-time great, it's not looking that great. So they need to lock in, because if that offense isn't good and the defense slips up, it's going to end badly. How about them Jaguars? Trevor Lawrence dropping touchdowns on the second-best defense in the league. Hoot nanny hoedown, the Jaguars are back in business, baby. Who would have thought the Jaguars would be here? You know, they started off very good, but everyone's like, they're going to fall off eventually, and they kept winning. They're going to fall eventually, and they kept winning. Now they beat Denver, the quote-unquote best team in the league. They're not. Trevor Lawrence diced this team up like he was dicing up garlic and onions to make some fried rice. Bo Nix went back to his old damn ways, showing his true colors as an okay quarterback. No, I'm just joking. He's actually pretty good. But the MVP talk's gotta chill. He's not an MVP. He's pretty good. Ever since this team has gotten Jacoby Myers, their offense has opened up so much more. And it's honestly an insane acquisition, because Jacoby Myers is a good player, but it's not like they picked up Amari Cooper like the Cowboys did in 2017. It's not like it's that big of a deal. But for some reason, getting just a good player opens up the offense a lot, and it certainly has done wonders for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. And dare I say it, could they do it this year? Because I think they're going to win the last 2 games. It's going to be 13-4. Could they do it? Could Jacksonville do it this year? No, it's crazy. It's crazy talk. But is it though? But is it really that crazy? Tank Bowl game, Cardinals versus Falcons. The Cardinals really want Fernando Mendoza. So they started off pretty good, but then they're like, wait guys, we got to get this quarterback. Our team sucks. And they're like, oh, for sure. You're right. So Kirk Cousins came in. He's like, big Kirko, got the job done, passing the ball around. And you know Kirk Cousins, and he's passing that ball to freaking Kyle Pitts. Round of applause for Kyle Pitts this year, everybody. He's at 850 yards. Maybe he gets 1,000. Who cares? Great year for Kyle Pitts. We all love Kyle Pitts here. The Cardinals didn't really do much favors for their team. It seemed like Jacoby Brissett was trying at first, but then just kind of stopped trying. It seemed a little fishy, if you ask me. But it still was a mid-game. Who watched this game? You watched this game? You didn't watch this game? I didn't watch this game either. Let's just move on, man. Get over yourself. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know with the Detroit Lions. I don't know with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know what to dissect of these teams. Because on paper, the Lions should explode offensively and kill this team. There's no TJ Watt. They're 1-11 without him since they acquired him. And their defense played good. And the Detroit offense struggled. And the Steelers offense played pretty good. I know it was mainly Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren, but it's just Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren. I mean, it's not rocket science here, guys. Stop those guys. Stop them. Good God. Also, DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, I don't know what was said to him. However, DK Metcalf is a 6'4", 230-pound, shredded man to the bone. but I've never seen a man so soft in my life. I get it, maybe the fans being annoying, but DK Metcalf grabbed him, pulled him down, and jabbed him in the face. And listen, if he's being an asshole, just chirp him back. Just chirp the guy back. You can do that, and it's fine. A lot of players chirp the fans all the time. Just chirp him back. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, like, George Pickens wasn't that bad. George Pickens is not only a better player than DK Metcalf, he's actually more sane than DK Metcalf. That's crazy talk I'm talking right now. You know how crazy that is? George Pickens of all people? That guy's nuts. But he's still more sane than DK Metcalf. The Steelers still won this game off of goofy shenanigans, if you ask me. They first missed a field goal to give the Lions some hope. The Lions go down, and oh my God, they're going to win. However, they go 3 straight plays without getting a touchdown, but it goes to 4th down. And they get a touchdown, but there's a flag. Okay, let's wait for to see what the flag is, okay? Don't worry, I'm sure they'll figure this out pretty quickly. Just give it a second. They'll get it down.
On the field is a touchdown, however, pass interference, number 14 on the offense. The game is over. Wow. There is no touchdown.
You know what? As a Ravens fan, I can't lie. It's kind of a fair call. I'm not going to cause this notion of the BS Lions versus refs like stipulation thing here, man. He pushed him. Maybe it was a bit of a flop, but I don't blame them for calling that play. Would I like them not to? Yeah, but at the same time, what do you want them to do? Not call it? He pushed him off, he cut the ball. Whatever. Steelers win against the Lions. The Lions fail me in the worst ways, but it does not matter the Lions lost because of the next game. Oh my God. There's a lot to unpack in this game. So first of all, the game started off pretty chill, going 10-10 in the halftime. Both teams trading off field goals and touchdowns. But then Lamar Jackson gets hurt, and he gets a knee in the back, unintentional knee, but a knee in the back, hurts his back, he's out of the game. First of all, Lamar Jackson, why are you diving? Why aren't you sliding? You're a quarterback, you're not a running back, and I hate those jokes. He's not a running back. Just slide, go down. He gets knee in the back, unintentional, shit happens, whatever. Tyler Huntley goes in, I'm thinking this game's over. And you know what? The Ravens play good. Tyler Huntley's playing solid. Derrick Henry's getting that ball, and we take an 11-point lead. Okay, and then the Patriots go down, get a touchdown, to convert, whatever. Drake May's really good. I get it. We got our 2 touchdowns. Sorry, we got our 3 touchdowns, mainly focusing on Derrick Henry running the ball. 2 of those touchdown scores were just feeding in the ball. And the first one was a little bit Lamar Jackson, but mainly Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets us touchdowns. Derrick Henry gets us down the field. So you know what we do? Up 3 points with 7 minutes left. We do 8 plays, passing the ball and running with Keaton Mitchell. Derrick Henry was not even on the field for that. And just for that alone, I think it's self-sabotage. I don't understand how Derrick Henry, who's our main weapon on offense, he's literally the best power back of all time, damn it. And he's killing the Patriots, who are hurt on the defensive line. And we take him out? What was that? John Harbaugh, and I say this as the nicest way possible. John Harbaugh, probably a great guy. He's a solid coach. Get this man off my team already. Fire him. He has had the most blown leads of any head coach since 2010. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Flacco, Huntley, Lamar Jackson. Doesn't matter the coordinators, who it could be. Doesn't matter the players, who it is. It is always blown fourth quarter leads, and he's been there for every single one of them. He's the common denominator. Fire him. He is holding this team back. Even when the team is playing better, he's holding them back. Zachary Orr did his damn best with this defense that has hurt the crap, but it wasn't enough from stupid decisions like that. Because if Derrick Henry's on the field, we would get enough chances to get a field goal, maybe a touchdown, maybe run the game clock out. But no, we didn't do that. We did some dumbass bullshit that caused the goddamn Patriots to come back and win the goddamn game. And now they're getting the 1 seed, and it's like Tom Brady all over again. I'm sorry, that was very loud. But you gotta see my frustration here. I kind of lost hope when Lamar went out. I'm like, season's over. But seeing Tyler Huntley get that lead, I'm like, oh, maybe there's a chance. No, there's not. Oh yeah, and Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, the critique you had is when you fumbled the game away against the Chiefs in the championship game by stutter stepping and trying to get extra yards. And people have been banging it into your head for 2 years to stop doing that. So what do you do when you get a 5-yard catch? You instantly start backing up, swerving around. You are 180 pounds. You are a child out there. You have one hand of the ball. Any man could steal that from you. A 200-pound corner would bully you. Why are you just doing that? Just go down. For the love that is all holy in this world, Zay Flowers, why do you do this to me? Why? Why? But the Ravens lost. And Drake May is probably going to win NFL MVP since Matt Stafford is probably not going to win the division with the Rams. So congratulations, Patriots fans. You deserved it. Patriots win the division. And now the Ravens are out unless the Steelers lose back-to-back games, and we won both of them, which is not going to happen because our team sucks. Also, I got this notion that our defense is better. Our defense is good. It's not good. It's better, but I don't want to hear Chris Collinsworth saying, this defense is pretty good. It's like, no. Our defense was the worst in the league in the first 7 weeks. It got from horrible to mid. So, it is still a mid defense. We got shredded by Aaron Rodgers at home. What are you talking about? Our defense is pretty mid, but sense of how bad it was, we just think it's good. It's not good. It didn't really play good today. It folded again. It always folds. It is the break, not bend defense. It always happens every single year with John Harbaugh coaching the damn team. Now it's going to be fine because we're going to bring him back next year, go to the playoffs, blow it in the division round again, and do the same thing next year and waste another year of Lamar Jackson's career. But that's it for the video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this week of football. I certainly did not. But if you did, good for you, and I'll see you in the next week. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. See y'all.